Hello, YouTubers, and welcome back to another episode of The Grandstand here on the Ohio Patriot Education Network YouTube channel. I am, as always, your host, AR, the Ohio Patriot. And for today's episode, we're going to talk about Vivek Ramaswamy, I think I should pronounce the guy's last name, and why he's basically the RINO version of Barack Obama, and basically Obama 2.0 for that matter. And pretty much the rest of the RINO scumbags that are in this fucking current presidential primary for the Republican Party come 2024, or potentially could be in the Republican primary come 2024, as well as other people like Democrat Nina Turner and just her being Captain Crazy Ass and all these other stupid motherfuckers that want to sit here and call us a democracy when we're actually a constitutional republic. And the fact of the matter is, you got people like Nina Turner specifically, who's been a sitting state senator in her past for like 6 years in the state of Ohio, has sworn an oath to uphold this country 3 separate times during that time period, yet still wants to call us a democracy when she has sworn a constitutional oath to the U.S. Constitution 3 separate times in office. It really fucking pisses me off. But what pisses me off even more is you got people like this Vivek guy who want to sit there and act like they're all hot shit and talk a big fucking game like they're all against critical race theory or whatever the case be, or wokeness or whatever. But then they're talking about democracy over aristocracy. Yet again, we're a constitutional republic, buddy. And that's exactly where you lost my vote, sir. Well, not that you ever had my vote anyway, because I'm not voting for a guy who is 8 months younger than I fucking am, ever, in this country. I don't care how the fuck old you are, dude. If you're younger than my ass is, I'm not fucking voting for your ass for president, dude, or anything else for that matter. Yeah, it's just ridiculous what it is, dude. But yeah, the whole democracy thing really fucking grinds my gears for these people, dude. Because again, it's like, well, first of all, again, I actually look at this Vivek guy as if he's like Yang 2.0 at this point as well, for that matter, dude. Opposite side of the ticket now. Because you have this dude, billionaire, literally billionaire because of pharmaceuticals, by the way. It's a big pharma fucking, piece of crap, basically is what it is. Comes out of nowhere, announces a week ago he's running for president now, and has never had any political experience at all in this country, dude. And it's like, bro, if you're gonna pull some shit like that, like at least go, something else. The fact that you are in the state of Ohio right now, the fact you're representing Ohio is what it is. You could easily have gone after Sherrod Brown, dude, in the U.S. Senate seat there. You could have won that Republican primary hands down against pieces of shit like other rhinos like Matt Dolan and stuff like that. Taken it to the general election and most likely beat Sherrod Brown straight up is what it is. So it's fucking dumb not to go that way is what it is. That being said, now that we're, looking at this dude's whole thing is what it is here, and just seeing the sort of stupid shit is what it is, dude. It really does bother me is what it is, dude. And like I said, we're going to this guy's actual website here, and I'm going to go ahead and pull it up here. We're also going to talk about a story from Gateway Pundit a little bit ago that I was reading. So yeah, right there, you got democracy over aristocracy. Again, we're a constitutional republic there, buddy. And here's my problem with this even, dude. Why the fuck would I donate to a campaign of a billionaire, dude? If you're going to be running, bro, you can obviously self-fund that shit. The same thing what Trump has done in the past, same thing other people have done in the past. And the biggest problem I have entirely, again, goes back to the fact that we have money in politics in this country. Because honestly, in truth, dude, I should be able tomorrow to throw my fucking hat in the ring as a grassroots candidate and win the fucking presidency from there with no money behind me at all, dude. That should be an American dream right now, honestly. But of course, it's never going to happen because, again, you have to have millions and millions of dollars to billions of dollars to even run in these fucking things, dude. Hell, to even go up for a U.S. Senate seat right now, it costs at least several $1,000,000, if not more. DeWine, when he won re-election last year for the Ohio governorship, he spent over $7 million to win a fucking governorship, dude. To win a seat of power that pays like a few $100,000 a year at most. And it's like, Jesus Christ, bro. Like, that's the problem right there is money in politics in general, dude. So, Okay, so here's my problem with this, right? Okay, so even just looking at this guy's political campaign right now, dude, and his website, here's what it is. You would think, honestly, if you're throwing your hat into the ring or whatever the case be, you would be like, here's X, Y, and Z of various platforms I'm running on and stuff like that. What does this Vivek guy have? Fucking nothing, dude. Meet Vivek, contact info, donate. Yeah, that's all he has right there. And some BS 5-minute YouTube video about the American dream kind of thing is what it is, dude. And there's a picture of his ass. And that's the thing, man. This dude is the son of foreign nationals. He's the son of two people from India. Well, I think his mom might be from Asia or something like that's what it is, dude. Because technically, if he would quote unquote win the presidency, he would be the first Indian and Asian president of the United States. Is what it is, dude. So I don't know. It's hard to say, man. Yeah, they got all the campaign slogans there: equity over or equality over equity. Some other stuff too: democracy over aristocracy, excellence over victimhood, America over China. The thing is, and like I said, the guy he talks a big game. He talks a good game, honestly, dude. And it really does remind me of Obama, honestly, dude. The whole hope and change shit I fell for back in 2008, and a lot of other Americans did too, for that matter. Like he really reminds me of a right wing Obama at this point, dude. Like basically a neocon Obama is what it'd be. But that's the thing. Does America need another Obama? Fuck no, we do not, dude. Do we need another fucking foreigner basically running our country into the fucking ground? Fuck no, we don't. And that's the thing. The second you say democracy, bro, you lose a lot of fucking voter base at that point. Because a lot of us have woken the fuck up and understand we're a constitutional republic, buddy. And that's why I even called his ass out on his own video here I was watching earlier. Because he was talking about some stuff here, and specifically he was discussing put America first, must define what America is. And I said, don't know how many politicians we have to tell this to. America isn't a fucking democracy. We have been a constitutional republic since 1776. It's why every person that swears an oath to this nation does so on a U.S. Constitution when they take office. And that's the truth, man. And then, of course, he had his pimping his thing. Here's what it was. And then somebody said it sounded like he was a red hat slogan, "Make America First Again." And I like what this person actually said to him 8 hours ago. It says, what specific policies and legislation would you propose to revive this national identity and to rediscover what it means to be an American? Yeah, he has nothing right now, dude, is what it is. And that's the thing. The guy can talk a big fucking game, but he has nothing if he actually doesn't, back it up at a website with like an actual fucking platform he's running on, dude. Be like, here's X, Y, and Z, how we go to our critical race theory and stuff like that, et cetera, et cetera. The fact that you have absolutely nothing on a website a week later, dude, is like, come on, bro. Like, get it together, sir. And then somebody else pointed out here and said, given that Trump and certainly DeSantis will be/are riding on similar wave, wouldn't expect an underdog to try harping on something else in media appearances. Let's see. And as this guy pointed out, he said, how about running U.S. Senate against Sherrod Brown? Exactly, dude. And that's another thing, too, for that matter. And as this guy pointed out, he said, to rediscover what it means to be an American, you first need to read the Constitution, specifically the Guarantee Clause. Article 4, Section 4, can't be peddling democracy to rediscover America because America was not founded on a democracy as a democracy. No, it's founded as a constitutional republic, and that's how it's always been forever, dude, is what it is. So, and then some dude apparently was telling him to go back to India with his family or whatever then, so. And then somebody else said he's actually a World Economic Forum shill, which I've actually looked into this as well. And the one thing I thought was interesting, so back in 2021, supposedly Klaus Schwab and people behind the World Economic Forum, or WEF, apparently like picked this Vivek guy for like president, like selected him as president or whatever it was, dude. And honestly, like I guarantee if I looked up like Bilderberg meetings for the past like 10 years or so, this Vivek guy's name is probably part of Bilderberg at this point, dude. Or at least like multiple Bilderberg meetings anyway. Now, granted, again, I've talked about that before. Does that mean he's actually like, a scumbag piece of shit for Soros and stuff like that? Maybe, maybe not. However, that being said, is it possible that he was at Bilderberg meetings as like the outer room and stuff like that, where he was meeting people like Peter Thiel and shit like that, and just making deals there is what it is? Very possible. Very possible. So, I don't know, man. I don't know if this guy was being serious or not. He was talking about seeing the guy's birth certificate and then claiming the dude was a Muslim or whatever. So I assume that's like a swipe at Obama or whatever then, probably. But yeah, like my biggest issue, again, it goes back to the fact that it's like, you want to run for something, dude? That's fine. You want to sit here and talk about our country as a constitutional republic? Yes, by all means do that, because that's what we are. You want to sit here and call us a democracy? Go fuck yourself, because we're not that thing. We never have been that thing. Which brings us to the second point here, which is Nina Turner's dumbass. She was on CNN the other day talking to some panel about Biden and primaries and stuff like that, where she said, "We are a democracy, not a dictatorship. Again, we're a constitutional republic, you dumb fucking cunt." So, but yeah, this is what she had to say about the whole thing.
Biden, on the other hand, I think Democrats have to be a little nervous that if it's not Biden, then who would it be?
Do you think there's no need to be nervous? I mean, people should just jump in. Let's jump in. Let people jump in. You got Marianne Williamson out there saying she may run.
So he should be challenged. President Biden.
Absolutely, he should be challenged. Voters deserve.
Nina and I agreed on everything.
This is one where I don't
that's
agree.
Okay.
Voters deserve, right? This is democracy. This is not a dictatorship. Voters deserve to have choice, period. And I rock on the freedom fighting side of the ledger. I
love how she says this, by the way, while she's been peddling fucking communism for the past like 10 years, basically, under that piece of shit Bernie Sanders. And the biggest problem I have with people like Nina Turner, by the way, is the fact that they want to talk about, choice, or whatever the case be. Here's a fucking choice. Stop voting a fucking two-party system, bitch. Stop fucking peddling a goddamn two-party system to begin with, because America's not a fucking two-party system of fucking jackass versus elephant. We are a many, many, many party system, and unfortunately, far too many people don't understand that shit and refuse to actually vote third parties is what it is. Or even worse, you have fucking states like Ohio here, where we refuse to even have fucking third parties on our goddamn primary ballots. And it's absolute bullshit, dude. No, I am not a fucking Republican. I am a internet libertarian. I am the party that I created in 2016, motherfuckers. And the fact that I have, for 7 fucking years now, tried to get that on a ballot for a primary and still have yet to be able to accomplish that shit is absolutely fucking garbage, dude. It is absolute bullshit that my political party and any other political party that's not fucking Republican or Democrat is not recognized in the state of Ohio during primary season, dude. People want to sit here and talk about us being a red state. No, we're not, dude. More than half the people that vote in this state vote Republican by default because it's the only thing we can vote for that isn't fucking Democrat. It's bullshit, dude. It's bullshit, illusional choice. It's not a fucking choice at all, dude. It's a lesser of two evils, bunch of horse shit, and I'm sick and fucking tired of it is what it is, man. But anyway, continuing back on with what Nina was babbling on about with Biden primaries there, though.
See a robust debate. One of the things that our campaign did in 2016 and also in 2020, I'm talking about Senator Bernard Sanders, is we lifted
Bernie.
the debate in terms of what people really need and deserve in this country. And the only way to get that kind of robust debate is to have people on that stage. So on the Republican side, the more the merrier, and on the Democratic side, the more the merrier.
So what I was going to say is when you look at Nikki Haley's announcement video, when you listen to what Tim Scott's saying, a lot of the message is like new, new, new. And I keep thinking like, yeah, well, New Coke was new, but it didn't do very well. Like new alone is not necessarily a winning argument. And so you need to put forward something. And I'm paying attention to what's going on the right because I'm I'm totally in it for Joe Biden. I think he's got
Jesus fucking Christ, dude. My God, these people are. Oh my God, man. Holy fucking shit. Oh Lord. Oh my God, dude. I would fucking love to know how many drugs these people are on right now to be sucking Biden's dick that fucking hard, dude. Like, seriously, bro? We're over 730 days into a fucking farce of a presidency at this point from a literal fucking cheating piece of shit who stole the goddamn presidency. And you fuckers are still blowing his fucking cock. Fucking 2 years later is what it is, dude. Oh my God, bro. It gets worse though, man, because we're gonna show some of the fucking comments in Nina Turner's comment section here in a couple minutes, dude. And this one fucking guy, man, holy fucking shit, man. You want to talk about a CNN fucking regurgitating little fucking anaconda motherfucker? Like, that's what that guy is pretty much, dude. Like, just eating the regurgitated shit that anaconda throws up, is what it'll be, man. The anaconda being the Democrat Party at this point.
the record, and he's done what he said he was going to do. And so I think that's powerful. But I think I don't see a message. I don't see a message coming out the other side.
To convince voters.
New Coke doesn't work because people like original Coke. And the problem is,
original Biden.
But see,
Jesus
this is not about Coke, though. I don't disagree with Jeff about if it's just new, that's not it. But we need a vision that provides provision for the people.
Before we go, you just heard earlier in the program the RNC chair that she is going to have candidates sign a pledge to get on the stage that they would support other candidates. Good idea.
What do you say? No, I would not, take Rana's done a great job running the party. It's a very difficult time, but it's hard to enforce, right? You saw the clip right afterwards where Donald Trump said, "Well, maybe I will, maybe I won't," right? And if he's not going to do it, then everybody else is going to say, "Well, we're not going to disarm."
10 seconds. Does it matter?
Republican voters do not want to see their party fight itself. They want to see their party fight the Democrats, period.
Yeah. I would hope they want to see their party serve the people, period.
Amen.
All right. Wow. We agree on something.
Kumbaya.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Says the woman whose party has done nothing but try to kill babies in the womb and steal people's gun rights for the past, 40 fucking years now since we're not been alive at this point. Yeah, that's really smart there, Nina Turner. Really fucking genius there, lady. But anyway, going back to her comment section though there, because there is the one guy I wanted to talk about specifically here. You basically got all those people talking about New Coke and all this other stuff like that. But it's this guy right here, this Brad dude, says a primary challenge to an incumbent almost always weakens the incumbent. Quote, Biden is strong and is delivering both bipartisan and progressive results. Let's wait another cycle for a robust Dem primary. Oh my fucking God, dude. And this is why jackasses should not have voting rights in this country anymore, dude. I guarantee you this dude has been fucking jab, boosted, everything else like that. Okay, right there, yes. Climate change and science are real in his fucking profile thing, dude. That right there, you should not have voting rights, buddy. Fuck yourself. And then this John Whitmer guy said, quote, you rock on the freedom side of the ledger. Talking about Nina Turner there, it says, you're a socialist who believes in government control. She is, by the way, and she does. And that's the problem, right? And if I didn't know any better, I think Nina Turner herself was trying to jump on the actual Democrat primary at this point to primary Joe Biden out, if that'd be the case, dude. And, by all means, more power to you, Nina. Please piss away all the Democrat money from the fucking Democrat Party at this point that BLM stole and then laundered into the fucking DNC through Act Blue during the 2020 election cycle. And keep going. Which, by the way, everything I just said is absolutely true. You can go verify that yourself independently if you want to. Because it all happened, dude. You had pieces of shit like specifically Patrice Colors and other BLM heads literally funnel a fuck ton of cash. Bribe money is what it actually is, money laundering. They should all be in jail right now for racketeering and stuff like that, if not federal prison for racketeering, because they literally racketeered a fuck ton of cash to Act Blue in 2020, even back in 2018 and stuff like that, dude. Pretty much ever really since BLM has existed since like 2014 or whatever, they've been funneling money to the DNC and stuff like that's what it is through Act Blue and stuff like that. So I am going to go ahead and address something here. That would be assuming he's the actual president of this country, which he's fucking not. That's the entire point, dude. You can't be the president when you steal the fucking election. Straight up, man. Like, I make no qualms about that. I'll talk about it every fucking day of the week is what it is, dude, because it's the truth at this point. Although I do think it's interesting, going back to Nina Turner's comment section here, that what this one woman said here. She got about half right, too, by the way. She said, uncontested elections are not worthy of being called elections. I totally agree with that one, honestly, dude. And then she claimed a democratic republic requires that voters have a choice. Again, we're not a democratic republic. We're a constitutional republic. There's a big difference. And if you want to get technical about it, because the reason people always say democracy and stuff like that, technically, since the whole voting rights thing has happened in this country now, where everybody has the right to vote at 18 and stuff like that, 19 and then eventually 26 amendments is what it was. Technically, we are a constitutional republic with a Democrat voting process. The problem is nobody ever uses the entire phrase like they need to. It's always democracy this or democracy that, which we're not a democracy, though. We are a constitutional republic that just so happens to have a Democrat voting process for election cycles and stuff like that, dude. So, anyways. But, continuing on, though, and going to... Shit, sorry. I grabbed the wrong thing here. Going on to talk about this specific Gateway Pundit article I mentioned earlier on in this episode. You had top GOP donors to meet with GOP candidates for president, but President Trump is not invited. RINO is not extinct yet. I need to make that into a fucking thing for my thing at some point here. For my little circle thing there. So, but yeah, it said, really, really bad move for all involved, said according to a report by a, quote, objective and non-biased Yahoo journalist. Yeah, journalist my ass is what this fucking Yahoo douche is what it is, dude. Said he wrote the book Pity and Power, Mike Pence and the Taking of the White House. There is an event this weekend in Southern Florida. The Club for Growth, who, by the way, for those interested, Club for Growth actually funded Josh Mandel in the U.S. Senate race here in Ohio back in 2022. They're also a known, basically, cuck-servative bunch of motherfuckers who are totally establishment douchebags is what it is, dude. So, yeah, that should show you exactly what these people really are is what it is, man. But anyway, it says Club for Growth, a leading conservative campaign group, will hold almost all the 2024 Republican prospects for president at a donor retreat in southern Florida this weekend, except Donald Trump, according to a Republican familiar with the plans. Said newly minted candidates Nikki Haley, the former U.S. UN ambassador, and Vivek Ramaswamy, a pharmaceutical magnate turned conservative influencer, will headline the meeting. Top Republicans who have not declared their candidacies for president yet, but are seriously eyeing bids, include making all the moves of a shadow campaign and are also expected to attend the event. These include Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, former Vice President Mike Pence, South Carolina Senator Tim Scott, and New Hampshire Governor Chris Sununu, who, by the way, is a fucking scumbag sack of shit for sure. That motherfucker is probably the worst one on this list. Chris Sununu is basically the Chris Christie of the 2024 campaign cycle, basically is what it is, dude. Sununu has been a known piece of crap for a while now, is what it is. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he's been like pro-abortion for quite some time now, is what it is. Anyways, it continues on there. It said, quote, the only declared candidate not attending is former President Donald Trump. And then it goes on to claim Trump, who helped spark the January 6, 2021 insurrection and the 2020 election lies, with his 2020 election lies, and is widely believed the GOP's widely blamed for the GOP's poor showing in the 2022 midterms, was not invited to the donor retreat. Republican source told Yahoo News the retreat is being held at Palm Beach, where Trump lives at his Mar-a-Lago estate. And as these people at Gateway Pundit claimed, What a nasty and ignorant journalist, slandering President Trump by saying helped spark the January 6th insurrection and 2020 election lies, and widely blamed GOP's poor showing in 2022 midterms. No, that is 100% Mitch McConnell's bitch ass, dude. The only people who fucked over people in 2022 was Mitch fucking Chi-Com bitch McConnell and that fucking Bilderberg sack of shit Lindsey Graham, dude. Which, by the way, McConnell's also in fucking Soros' pocket, blowing his fucking dick off. They both have been for decades now at this point, dude. And it's exactly why, honestly, the best thing that could happen to this entire country, dude, is that we need to have term limits and we need to have automatic disqualifications on every seat of power in this nation, bar fucking none, as the 20th Amendment of the Constitution right now, dude. So, yeah, it's a bunch of bullshit, dude, entirely. But anyway, continuing back on with this article, though, said, says it tells you all you need to know about the candidates and the elites who will be in Palm Beach to support them. What a huge mistake. For a GOP candidate to win the GOP ticket, they must win over the mega crowd. It's the largest political base in U.S. history. It is responsible for setting record voting records in the 2020 election cycle. This is not how you win over a mega crowd. No, it's not. And that Joe Hoft guy knows exactly what he's talking about there, dude. So, and that's the thing, right? Like, again, as I said with this fucking Vivek guy, like he talks a big game is what it is, dude. Like he sounds like he's a good fucking guy and shit like that all, you know, but like again, so did Barack Obama before he became president. And we know how that fucking changed up real quick, man. So I don't know. I'm just very, like I said, to me it's very telling when you have this Vivek guy supposedly being one of the front runners, and then you go and look at his website, and there's zero fucking platform for anything he's actually running on. But yet he wants to talk about running on platforms against like critical race theory and stuff like that in other interviews. It's like, okay, buddy, how hard is it to pay somebody like $100 fucking to throw a fucking platform on your damn website, bro? Hell, it wouldn't even take 100 fucking. Go pay some dude like $20 to $50 is what it is. Have them write a few fucking words and throw it up there as a fucking platform then. Shit, man, I did that for myself like 2 years ago when I was trying to run for governor of Ohio back in 2020. And then, of course, my campaign didn't get off the ground because, you know, you had pieces of shit like Jim Renacci jumping the fucking race is what it was, dude, and I got fucked over is what it ended up being then. So, yeah. But, what's interesting here is going to the Wikipedia thing for that Vivek guy, though, because it has some other stuff here about, like, aristocracy versus sovereignty and stuff like that. Yeah, it said, filed for presidential campaign last week on the 21st. So exactly 1 week ago today is what it was. Said Vivek had previously considered a candidacy for the 2022 U.S. Senate race in Ohio, but ultimately decided not to run, probably because there was like 20 people that were trying to run in that primary is what it was, dude. So since the outcome of the 2022 midterm elections, he had been named as a potential presidential candidate. By early February, it was reported that he began assembling a presidential campaign team. If elected, he would become the first Asian American president and first Indian American president. So that tells you exactly what he really would be. He'd be the first Asian Indian president is what it is, dude. It's like, dude, stop putting words in front of American, bro. You would be an American president, supposedly. And then it said, according to him, it said the most fundamental divide in our time is not black versus white, gay versus straight, or even Democrat versus Republican. Is the Great Reset versus the Great Uprising, aristocracy versus sovereignty, self-governance versus monarchy. This is a transpartisan versus transnational struggle. So in his campaign announcement, Vivek stated, "I'm all putting America first, but in order to put America first, you have to first rediscover what America is. And to me, those are the basic rules of the road that set this nation into motion, from meritocracy to free speech to self-governance over aristocracy." So the profile from New York Times described him as an anti-woke candidate, whereas The Hill criticizes him as characterizes him as a conservative. So this campaign has also been compared to Andrew Yang's 2020 presidential campaign by media outlets. Okay, so that right there tells me everything I know, dude, is what it is. And by the way, for those interested, it was Fuckstick Yang is why I got a fucking federal swatting back in 2019, because he's a fucking scumbag piece of shit, and so is the fucking FBI for that matter, dude. And the fact that Andrew Yang is still not sitting in prison for at least 12 fucking years right now for buying off people and fucking buying votes in the 2020 election cycle, dude. Is everything wrong with this country currently? So, honestly, I kind of want to see. I kind of want to see this Vivek guy pull a fucking Yang now. Is what it is, dude, and just like start fucking spraying random shit in other dudes' mouths out of a fucking can. That was probably one of the funniest things happened to Yang, by the way, dude. When he's like, "Oh yeah, it's such a good idea to put two white guys to their fucking knees and spray a fucking bunch of whipped cream in their mouths." It's like, yeah, that looks pretty gay, bro. Like, seriously. But anyway. Where we're at now. But yeah, so it compared him to Yang's thing on Fox News, etc. Said according to Politico, said Vivek was inspired by Trump's victory in 2016 and wants to run, quote, with an entrepreneurial spirit, unorthodox ideas, and few expectations in the hopes of building a major following that will carry him into the presidency. Yeah, good fucking luck with that. With no platform at all, jackass. So in his bid announcement, Vivek pitched himself as a conservative and argued that, quote, what the conservative movement needs to do is more than just criticize that the poison that fills the void, but fill the vacuum with the vision of American national identity that runs so deep that it dilutes these other religions from wokeism to Islamism. Again, like, that's what I'm saying. The guy's like half winning me over, but I'm like, dude, I know you're a fucking, like, I know you're a fucking plant, bro. Fuck you, kind of thing. And then he's basically criticizing China, obviously, rightfully so. And then it's also, affirmative action and stuff like that against all that shit, pro free speech, small government, all that stuff like that kind of thing is what it is, dude. So, yes, it argues that 8-year term limits for all unelected federal bureaucrats, similar to term limits imposed by U.S. presidents. I would agree with that, honestly, dude. That'd be fucking awesome. I've been saying that for some time now, actually, dude. When it comes to, actually, now I think about it, I've probably been saying that for longer than Vivek has at this point, dude. I've been talking about that shit for over, 5 years now or something? Where I've been saying about how it's ridiculous that you have people going into various elected, basically what should be elected offices, like your Pete Buttigiegs and stuff like that, for transportation secretary or, secretary of state or whatever it is, dude. It's like, no, bro, every single one of those cabinet positions should be an elected office at this point. That should be picked on by we the people as voters. It should be having, X amount of names in that fucking list or whatever the case be, and we get to pick who's in the primaries and stuff like that, who wins those primaries, etc. And then who actually goes to general election. We get to pick from those candidates in the general election and who wins that general election. It shouldn't just be like, oh yeah, some fucking failed ass mayor from South Bend, Indiana is now transportation secretary, doesn't know the first goddamn thing about transporting jack shit, except a big bag of fucking dicks in his backpack is what it is, dude. On the fucking Hershey Highway. And wants to sit there and take 6-month vacations and stuff like that. And yet wants to fuck off and basically go do other crap. Well, East Palestine's literally on fucking fire and has a chemical spill in it right now, dude, for the past almost month now. So, yeah, I don't know anymore, man. It's all fucked up is what it is. And like I said, it fucking bothers me a lot, dude, is what it is. So, actually, even looking at this Vivek guy's fucking thing for immigration here is what it is. Says, Ramaswamy calls for merit-based system of immigration and supports scrapping lottery-based immigration such as diversity investment visa, which is how a bunch of Islam motherfuckers have gotten over here. They're all terrorists. So he also states America must, quote, unapologetically secure the southern border against illegal immigration. So, first of all, I'm going to call this shit out right here, man. We should have zero fucking immigration to the United States ever again for at least the next 100-something fucking years is what it is, dude. Until that shit happens and we actually have a true constitutional republic again and we have America being Americans again, nothing's going to change there is what it is, dude. Like, honestly, that's what we should have done years ago, honestly, dude. Trump's presidency should have been that, honestly, dude. Should have been the first year of Trump's presidency. It should have been all these illegals, fucking throw their asses all out of this country, dude. Secure our fucking border straight up. Moratorium on all immigration in this country for the next 50-something years then. Because when you look back into the history of this nation, dude, from the time that my ancestors got here to the time that everybody else has got here, bro, up to until like the 50s or 60s is what it was, you had time periods then in those times where it was 10 years here, 20 years there, whatever it was, where it was just down times, where it was X amount of people were here and you were able to actually assimilate into this country. And that's the big problem right now. You have people being brought in every single fucking day, every single fucking year, and every single fucking day, every single fucking year. You have no time for downtime or assimilation. So it's like, why would you assimilate? Oh, yeah, that's right. You wouldn't, dude. That's why you have literal pockets of people in these major cities creating little El Salvador, little Honduras, little Vietnam, whatever the fuck they came from is what it is, dude. Instead of just being like, this is America. This is a land where we all speak English, for God's sakes, as a first language and as our national language for that matter. And then we move on from there is what it is, dude. It's fucking stupid to have kids be forced into schools from elementary through high school and have a double-sided fucking sheet where one side's in English and the other side's in fucking Spanish. And I can tell you that shit fucking secondhand right now, dude, because when I was on Honda's chat this past weekend, he was talking about that there in Colorado. That for the past several years, both of his sons have come home with homework. The one side that they're doing is in fucking English. They flip it over, it's fucking Spanish, dude. When you have to have a teacher do things twice because they have to say it in fucking English first and then in Spanish second because half the fucking class doesn't speak fucking English. So you're having every single American child that speaks fucking English in that class now learn half the shit they fucking should have been learning because there's so many fucking children of illegals in this country. Yeah, there's a huge fucking problem with this nation right now, dude. And it fucking pisses me off. And yes, it does start by, and I would say it doesn't even start by securing our southern border. It starts by securing both our southern and our fucking northern border with Canada right now, because you have a shitload of fucking illegals coming down death from above style at this point, dude. And that's been proven in the last couple months now. And that's something I told my aunt almost 5 fucking years ago now, where after the 2018 midterms is what it was. And she just laughed in my face. And I'm like, no, I'm dead fucking serious. We need to have a second border wall between US and Canada. And that's truth of the matter at the end of the day, dude. Yeah, I've heard of that chick. Like I said, I was a default Democrat for a long ass time, dude. Between the time I was, oh geez, I'm trying to think now. I turned 18 in 2003. I voted Democrat in 2004 for the first time. I voted Democrat in 2008. And I started to wake up around 2010-ish or so when I was living in Columbus. But I was still, at that point, I was sort of voting best candidate is what it was. And unfortunately, you know, when it came to 2012 and stuff like that, it was one of those situations where it's like Democrat versus Republican, you know, fucking lesser of two evils, and I'm just like, okay, it's Romney versus Obama. Like, Romney's a fucking piece of shit, so is Obama, but at least it's like the devil I know kind of thing is what it is. And that's basically why I cast for Obama a second time is what it is. And then it was around, I think it was right around Sandy Hook, actually, is when I fully woke up then. And then I basically said, fuck the Democrat Party forever. Ended up becoming a registered libertarian for a little bit of time. Around like, I think it was 2013 election cycle, because it was that off year like election. We did some random stuff here is what it was. And I re-registered as libertarian then because they allowed me to do that back then. And then I think they got rid of that at some point after that. That's what it was, because it was like 20. So yeah, between then and 2015, I believe is what it was, that I was actually registered libertarian for a little bit of time. And then 2016 midterms came, or yeah, 2016 primaries came along, and I wanted to vote libertarian because I actually wanted to vote John McAfee then. And they're like, oh, no, you can't. You got to vote either Republican or Democrat. And I'm like, well, fine, fuck it. I'll vote Republican then. And I cast a Republican primary ballot for Trump. And then I voted for John McAfee for president that year. And then eventually, since then, I've basically been a registered Republican since 2016 is what it is. Ended up in 2018 midterm. I voted for literally anybody that wasn't Mike DeWine is what it was. Voted for a libertarian guy for our Secretary of State, which Franklin Rose eventually won that seat. And then voted a few other people in is what it was that were like, I think I actually voted for Yostin is what it was then for AG and stuff. And then eventually, where are we at now? Okay, so that would have been 2018. 2020, I legit cast for Trump for president because it was basically, hey, gotta vote that man, because otherwise it's going to be crazy ass Biden finding a way in there is what it is. We did anyway. Never went down ticket Republicans what it was. There was always some like third party candidates I always chose is what it was for different things. I thought they were better than the other alternatives is what it is. And then eventually here in 2022, I reluctantly for governor voted for DeWine because it was basically DeWine versus Whaley as the only names on the fucking ballot, even though there was like 10 different random people that had no chance of what it was, dude, even though their names should have been on the ballot, even though they were running candidates. And then basically voted for, I believe it was that Tor woman for Secretary of State, because fuck Franklin Rossi's done nothing for us at this point, including actually looking to vote a fraud that Sherrod Brown committed in 2018. I actually voted for Jim Renacci back in 2018, by the way, against Sherrod Brown. And Renacci should be technically our U.S. Senator currently in that position of power, and would be had Sherrod Brown not had 300,000 dead people vote for him is what it is, dude. But anyway, again, it's time for Frank LaRose to get off his fucking lazy ass and actually looking to vote a fraud in this country. And if he did, you would have Sherrod Brown president right now in the state of Ohio. And then, yeah, from that, it was basically reluctantly vote for DeWine, basically slit my own wrist voting for DeWine is what it was. Voted for Yost legitimately because he's a good AG. Voted somebody else instead, not LaRose. Voted for Dave Yost as AG. Voted against LaRose for Secretary of State. Voted, I'm trying to think I voted for now when it came to, I think it was just Spruce and whoever else for like auditor treasurer again, because they haven't done too bad of a job as what it is right now. And then, yeah, I said, fuck Kirk Shearing. I refuse to even vote for that asshole at all, because the problem again goes back to what we were talking about a little bit ago here, which was the thing in Nina Turner's thing about, like basically single person political race is what it is. That's the biggest problem right now. When you have a political race where it's literally Republican Party choice, one person, and then nothing else on the ballot at all for any opponent, whether it be a Democrat or an independent or a libertarian or whatever the case be, that's a huge fucking problem right there, dude. So, but yeah, it's a bunch of horse shit in general, dude. So, I don't know. Of course, I did vote for J.D. Vance for U.S. Senate, and I'm very proud of that, honestly, because he has done a good job so far, is what it is. You know, he's only a couple months in right now, but he's done a decent job as far as I'm aware right now. He hasn't fucked us over quite yet, it seems like. And I say quite yet because I just assume it's going to happen at some point, sadly. Because, again, it's like, that's why you don't trust any of them, dude. You don't trust any of them at all, man. But, yeah, I really wish we could live in a country, honestly, where you could just have anybody go up, spend next to nothing when it comes to money, and be able to win anything at this point, dude. That would be the perfect dream scenario right now. Because you'd have grassroots candidates like me being able to get into office, then that'd be the case, dude. Instead of having people spend, you know, tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars or more for a seat of power that pays a couple $100,000 at most a year is what it is, dude. If not even less than that is what it is. But you know, as I've been saying since before 2022, it's primarily everybody, dude, at this point. That's what it needs to be anymore. It needs to be people. I don't even care if you don't stand a snowball's chance in hell getting in there, dude. If you can at least afford to basically put the cash together to get your name on a ballot or whatever, dude, for a primary, do it. Force these incumbents to spend fucking money, man. Seriously. Like, that's what it is at the end of the day, man. Force them to spend campaign funds. Do not let them have the money to just sit in a fucking coffer someplace, dude, or offer up to another candidate or whatever the case be. No. You force them to spend that shit, taking your ass out in those fucking races is what it is, dude. And if nothing else, if they piss away a bunch of money and you somehow manage to win, good job. That's what it needs to be, man. And you can take that position of power, then is what it ends up being, dude. That's what it needs to be, honestly. Seriously, man. Now, granted, is it a lot harder to primary an incumbent candidate? Yes, it is, because that person's a more known individual than you are, usually, is what it is, dude. Unless you have somebody that's like a known like ball player or something like that getting in the race, or some person with an actual, you know, name or claim to fame behind him is what it is, dude. Actor, you know, ex whatever that be the case, like basically a Donald Trump type of stuff is what I'm talking about there, dude. You know, some kind of celebrity, whatever the case be, which is sad when you look at the stuff, like when you have name recognition like that, and that's what gets you far ahead in life is what it is, bro. And unfortunately, you know, a lot of times that's where it basically comes to is what it is. So anyway, I feel like I'm rambling on right now, and I'm really getting tired. I got some stuff I gotta do later. I gotta take a nap before I do that. So one thing I will mention though is this fucking joke of a what's going on in Chicago right now that just popped up in the Gateway Pundit articles here. Chicago mayoral election kicks off. Winner might not be known for months. Are you fucking kidding me, people? No, you get that shit on the fucking thing immediately, motherfucker. Or you don't have a fucking mayor anymore is what it is. It's absolute slap in the face, bro. Yeah, so election day in Chicago has arrived. Chicagoans are heading to the polls this morning to cast their vote for Chicago mayor and members of city council. Before the polls even open, a large number of ballots had already been cast for the election. Chicago 5 reported as of Monday night, 244,580 ballots had been cast, with 131,806 ballots from in-person early voting and another 112,744 from residents who opted to vote by mail. Says due to the high volume of mail-in ballots and early voters, news outlet Chicago Business has reported the election results may take several days to tabulate. Let's see. It said winner of the election, however, may not be decided in days, but may take several months. Certainly, there are not. So currently, there are 9 candidates running for the mayoral race, but in order to get elected outright, a candidate must have 50% of the vote. Incumbent piece of shit Mayor Lori Lightfoot is not expected to hit the 50% mark due to turning a blind eye on the city's crime rates, as ABC7 reports. In the mayor's race, the incumbent Lightfoot has 8 challengers and is likely this contest will not be settled until a runoff happens. Okay, that makes more sense now if that be the case. So the mayoral and alderman races, if no candidate receives 50% of the vote or more, the top candidates, top 2 of them specifically, will face off again in a runoff on April 4th. And then it has a thing here of the other candidates with Lightfoot. I'm going to go ahead and take that down and pop the other article I'm actually reading here off. Yeah, these are all the people running against Lightfoot. So basically, it looks like I'm trying to figure out if the guy next to Lightfoot on the left here is a white guy or some other race, but literally everybody else is black. Except for that one guy here in the corner who's Latino, and I know for a fact that guy's a fucking scumbag piece of shit Democrat. So, yeah, kind of a slap in the face, man, honestly. Let's go ahead and see who's all in there in this race. They actually show the names are not here. Okay, so you got a community activist guy named Jamal Green, spelled J-A, M-A-L. Jesus Christ. Oh my God, bro. Then you got Alderwoman Sophia King, State Rep Cam Buckner, who looks like he's either black or mixed, I'm not sure which. Willie Wilson said Wilson has owned a series of McDonald's franchises and various companies, has a long history of running for office in Chicago, with mayoral runs in 2015, 2019, and a run for U.S. Senate in 2020. So Wilson is currently running on a platform to recover, restore, and rebuild the city, and has pointed to his efforts to donate free fuel and masks to underserved communities as examples of how he'd begin to tackle issues in the city. Jesus fucking. So you're giving people fucking face masks that aren't required, you fucking clown. Goddamn, dude. Let's see, we got Brandon Johnson, a Cook County commissioner. Another black dude. Okay, that guy is white then. Paul Vallis is a former CEO of Chicago Public Schools and has run in several statewide races, losing Democrat gubernatorial primary in 2002 and losing the 2014 governor's race as Pat Quinn's running mate. Said Vallis has cited his experience in running large school districts as he's hit the campaign trail and has pledged to make massive changes to the city's finances, addressing issues of public safety and to integrate parents more effectively into the educational system. I mean, honestly, bro, if you've been running the Chicago school districts, like, maybe that's why the city is such a fucking shithole now. And maybe you should be disqualified on the fucking spot from the running because of that, asshole. Just saying. And of course, you got Lightfoot's bitch ass and Alderman Roderick Sawyer. So, yeah. And then, of course, it's Representative Jesus Chuy Garcia, who, like I said, is a known, like, Bilderberg puppet, basically. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Chuy Garcia is actually, I want to say that dude is a known puppet of the Sinaloa cartel and a few other cartels in this country is what it is. Just like Katie Howell's bitch ass is. So, yeah, just a fucking idiot is what it is, man, for real. Let's see. Latest poll show that Paul Guy leading by 26.8% of the vote. Brandon Johnson is in second place with 20.2%. Lightfoot is in third place with 18.7%. Garcia is in fourth place with 15.6%. And Willie Wilson with 11.4%. Said... Oh, okay, that was the top 5 people are polled to talk about or whatever. Like who they thought was going to be the best for the thing or whatever. That was from the 24th to 26th is when that was done by 806 likely Chicago voters. Yeah, that's not really that big of a poll then, man. You're under 1,000 people, and the one guy's got like 27% of the vote of like 800 people, so that's like about 260, 270 people said yes on that for that guy, pretty much is what it is, something like that. Maybe not even quite that many. So, I don't know. As Leo Red pointed out the other day, man, it's a shit show, honestly. It doesn't matter who wins because they're all losers, is what he basically said. And it's true, man. That's the sad part. It's the fucking truth, honestly, dude. It's like, it does not matter who wins because they're all fucking losers, is what it is, dude, for real. So, anyway. Continuing back on with the Gateway article, though, said mayor's race has already had its fair share of controversy. On Monday, Gateway Pundit reported Chicago prisoners are being forced to cast their ballots in the upcoming election. How the okay, so here's my thing, right? How in the fuck are you going to be in a prison and be able to cast a ballot, bro? Like, pretty sure that if you're sitting in a prison, you're probably convicted of a crime at that point, most likely a felony. And if that be the case, you automatically lose the right to vote, is what it is, along with your Second Amendment right to actually keep and bear arms, dude. So, yeah, this is absolutely ballot harvesting. Chicago prisoners forced to vote in upcoming mayoral election. Oh, yeah, it fucking is, dude. For real, 100%. It's fucking bullshit, dude. I'll tell you what, if Lightfoot wins, it's going to be with a prison population, dude. 100% there. Again, why are they even having a fucking mayoral race at this point, dude? Fuck the entire city at this point. Fuck them, dude. That whole place just needs to be fucking leveled, honestly, at this point, dude, for real. Get the good people that are still in there out as fast as possible and just demolish the rest of them is what it is, dude. Huh. This is not surprising at all. I'm actually going to read this before we go today. I actually had a feeling about this woman, too, a while ago. Democrat California representative. She's a congresswoman from California. Judy Chu denies ties to CCP-related organizations, votes against House Select Committees on China. Yeah, sure, you're not a fucking Chi-Com piece of shit, lady. Go fuck yourself. See, President Trump to be keynote speaker at CPAC in D.C. this week. Pence and DeSantis to skip this year's event. Interesting. See, Zuckerbucks takes on new life in 2024 with CTCL's U.S. Alliance for Election Excellence, an organization aimed at recruiting far-left operatives to take over election offices across the country. And every single one of those commie fuckers needs to be tossed out of this country right now on the fucking spot, dude, and have their citizenship stripped from them for life. Period. End of fucking story. Apparently, FBI arrested some guy dressed as a panda after 2 years from January 6th protests. Jesus. Greater Idaho movement to make several Oregon counties part of Idaho gains steam. Not surprising at all, dude. Climate change brat Greta Thunberg now protesting wind farms in Norway. Yet she won't take her little bitch ass to China or India or the Philippines or any other place that does a shitload of fucking plastic waste into our various oceans and throughout their various countries is what it is, dude. See, group of so-called bipartisan senators discuss raising Social Security retirement age to 70 now. How about their bitch asses finally retire and get the fuck out of here, dude? Works for me, honestly, dude. So, that was an interesting one that happened last night, actually. You had U.S. Marshals Service was hacked. Compromised sensitive information. That'll be an interesting one to see what happens there, honestly, with that shit. Yeah. It's hard to say who hacked it, man. Could have been anybody at this point, honestly, man. Could have been fucking Ukraine, could have been Russia, could have been fucking China. Hell, could have been an inside job for that matter. Wouldn't surprise me in the least, honestly, dude. Could have been the fucking cartels for that matter, dude. Having somebody on the inside now doing shit. So, anyway, either way, that's where we're at for the day. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I'll be back again for another one at some point in the future. I don't know exactly when yet, but I'm pretty tired right now. I'm going to nap for a couple hours anyway and go do some stuff later on then. But other than that, hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I'll be back again. Like I said, maybe sometime later this week or whatever. Probably sometime later this week, actually. And like I said last night, if Honda does a chat tonight, I might be on that, actually. I don't know. It depends. I'm awake and he actually sends me a link and stuff like that, I'll probably be on the panel if he does one or not. I have no idea if he's actually doing one or not, because he even said the other day he doesn't know if he's doing one or not. So, again, it's one of those situations where it's like, okay, I assume you're going to do something here, but maybe you won't. So I'm just going to sit here and fucking chill until you send me a link, basically, which is what happened with Saturday Night's chat. I'm like, I don't think he's doing a chat. I think I'm going to go take a nap or whatever and go to bed for a while. And then it's like, oh no, he sends me a link like 15 minutes later. I'm like, oh, well, fuck me then, man. I guess I'm staying on here now and going on our damn panel now. That's what it is. So, but yeah, I was getting real close to taking a siesta that night, though. Dude, that's what it was. Just going to sleep for a while, and then of course he sent me a link like 10, 15 minutes after that, and I was like, well, I guess I'm staying on then, if that be the case. So, but yeah, if that be the case, we'll be on there tonight talking about some stuff and discussing some of the things like this Vivek guy, hopefully, and see what everybody else's thoughts are on the dude. Because, like I said, I made my thoughts known on the guy. I think he's a fucking Obama plant, is what it is, dude. I think he's a RINO Obama, is what it is. Legitimately, he talks a big game. He acts like he wants to do the whole hope and change thing, and then he sits there and stabs you in the fucking back when he's in the office. Is what it is, man. So yeah, I don't trust the guy as far as I can throw him, and I don't think anybody else should either, for that matter, dude. And that's all I got to say about the end of the day. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you all in the next one.